manslaughter. He was sentenced to 6 years in state prison, the maximum penalty for voluntary manslaughter at the time Carroll was killed. Later that month, he was released from prison, having already served more than 10 years behind bars. As for Carol Lubon, her remains have yet to be found.
That's all for now. I'm Lester Holt. Thanks for joining us.
This is NBC4 News at 11.
Now at 11, back in front of a crowd, former President Trump making a surprise appearance on the first night of the Republican National Convention. A bandage on his right ear just 2 days after being shot at a rally in Pennsylvania.
The devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared!
The crowd roaring as well as the former president officially gets nominated for the third time in 8 years. And good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. The former president eventually made his way through the crowd tonight and stood next to the man who he chose to be his running mate. NBC4's Conan Nolan live in Milwaukee for us tonight, covering that convention.
Good evening from Milwaukee. A remarkable evening as Donald Trump for the third time has been nominated for President of the United States by the Party of Lincoln. This, of course, would be his second term as president if he's elected in November. He arrived here just days after he was almost lost to an assassin's bullet. Mr. Trump showing up, just sitting down, not giving a speech, his ear obviously bandaged, and he was there with J.D. Vance, the senator from Ohio, who today he picked as his running mate. Mr. Vance himself, part of the populist message from working class Ohio, his story told in his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, turned into a Ron Howard movie, talking about growing up in the Rust Belt, the hardscrabble neighborhoods of post-industrial America. And then there was a primetime slot for the president of the International Order of Teamsters, the Teamsters Union, speaking here for the first time. Sean O'Brien giving a rousing speech that normally you'd hear at a Democratic convention, where he went after not just the Chamber of Commerce, but corporate executives.
We need trade policies that put American workers first. We are not tenants, but the corporate elite treat us like squatters, and that is a crime.
We are the party of being inclusive.
Including union members.
Yes, absolutely.
First name.
I'm in a union, so yeah.
I don't know that absolutely everybody agrees with everything that they say. The fact is that a lot of the Teamsters are the average American worker as well, and they're feeling the tightness in their budgets, just like the rest of us are.
Whether people like him or they don't like him, in light of what happened to him on Saturday, he has proven to be one tough SOB.
To give you an idea as the politics works, there was a time nobody thought Mr. Vance was going to be the nominee, considering what he said a few years back about Donald Trump. He called him an idiot and said he was reprehensible. Mr. Vance has since changed his attitude towards the 45th president, and now he's on his way to possibly becoming one of the youngest vice presidents in the nation's history at the age of 39, and will need only to wait 4 years to run for the top job himself. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
And former President Trump is now officially the Republican nominee for president as the investigation is underway into the assassination attempt on his life. The FBI is now looking into who the gunman was and why he shot the former president. NBC4's Robert Kovacic is here now with the latest details for us tonight. Robert?
Colleen, those details include, in the wake of the assassination attempt, 2 distinct investigations that are now underway. In Washington, D.C., the House Oversight Committee has formally requested documents from the Secret Service, and that committee will hold a hearing a week from today to try and figure out how this could possibly have happened. Also, why did it happen? Tonight, NBC News has learned the FBI still has no indication as to what motivated the would-be assassin who fired at least 8 shots. Senior FBI officials say it's 24/7 at the FBI lab in Quantico analyzing his laptop and cell phone, but so far that cell phone has not helped to answer why the gun club member who belonged to a shooting range open